Here's the Earth. I will explain. Do you really not believe in gravity?
Explain to me why so gravity is the force.
All right, I'll explain it.
Gravity is the force. There's a force. Can't see it, can't measure it, but it's a force that holds buildings down to the planet, right? It holds the ocean so because the planet is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. So why isn't, like when you see a tennis ball, that's science. When you see a tennis ball spinning, that's science. You see the water flying out. Why isn't the water flying out? Because gravity's holding the oceans together, right? Gravity is a force so strong that it will hold the Pacific Ocean together. So as the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles an hour, the water doesn't fly off because gravity's holding it together? Is gravity holding it together? What's holding it together? What is it?
Okay,
the mass.
Is it gravity?
I would say it's the mass.
It's the force. It's the force of the rotation that holds it together. Just like if you have a bucket and you spin it around, the water doesn't fall out.
No. The Earth is a ball, like a tennis ball. We're talking about science. We were talking about experiments. Show me a ball where you spin and water doesn't fly off. We're talking about science.
Okay, does a ball
all of a sudden when it gets into
a ball doesn't hold an atmosphere, so that's kind of a different argument.
No, it's a ball. At one point, does it not become science? How far? Like 50,000 feet in the air? At 20 miles? At what point does it not become science?
So you don't.
Because science is inertia of science, right?
So you don't.
So let me explain to you. So there's a force that's holding the water sticking to the planet. It holds buildings and cars, but it doesn't have any effect on a butterfly. How come a butterfly isn't stuck? A butterfly should be the easiest thing for a force to hold.
Think about it like this. Let's say you have a little speck of dust on a tennis ball, okay? And the tennis ball is spinning really fast. That speck of dust probably isn't going to leave it. It's going to stick right there.
Water will. I'm talking about science. Water.
Okay, but what holds the water is the atmosphere. There's different forms of water. There's gas, there's liquid, there's ice. So there's all types of different forms of water.
You're talking about stuff that you cannot replicate in a goddamn... You're talking about all of a sudden at some point. All of a sudden you can't. So it's a theory. So it's a theory. It's a theory. It's not science.
You can't say, "Oh, a tennis ball spinning is an analogy to the Earth." A tennis ball doesn't have an atmosphere.
Because there's some magic shit that you can't replicate in a science lab.
Okay,
you're talking about shit.
Is it then? All right, so I guess then you probably can't theorize how.
So no. So people that don't believe in the theory of gravity say things fall because of density and buoyancy. If something is lighter, if something is heavier than the air, it falls. If it's lighter than the air, like helium, like a helium balloon, how come gravity has no effect on a helium balloon? It just flies up. But it's holding buildings down. There's a force that's holding a building down, but it has no effect on a fucking butterfly or helium. Helium is lighter than the air. That's why it rises. So that does bring credence to the density buoyancy thing. How can you take a balloon? There's this force that's holding up the Pacific Ocean together, but if you put a ball filled with air in the water and it flies up to the surface, where's the gravity? Where's this magical force? There's no. It's not science. The theory of gravity is not science. It's magic. It's magic. Because you can't. Science is about experiments, repeatable experiments where you get the same result. That's what science is. Anything other than that is a theory. It's magic. We're talking about science.
All right. So what is your theory on sunset?
Well, if you look, okay. This is my story. This is my story. About a year ago, I'm on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he brings up something. He's making a point about something, and he goes, "Dude, people are so dumb. There's people out there that fucking believe the world is flat and the earth and the sun is 3,000 miles away." I'm like, oh my god, what are they fucking like? This is a year and a half ago. It's fucking like I'm balls deep in 9/11. A year and a half ago, I'm 45 years old, grown ass man, and he says that, and I go, what are these fucking religious fucking idiots? Who are they? And then we went on by the conversation, and then maybe a couple months later, 3 months later, I'm on his podcast again, and flat Earth gets brought up. He goes, dude, there's people that believe. I go, flat Earth. I go, oh my god, that's gotta be a CIA psyop, like Scientology. It's gotta be like Scientology, just to distract people from the real shit that's going on. 9/11, Obama, CIA. I'm on the podcast, grown ass man, a year ago, saying it's gotta be CIA psyop. And then I'm in my class, I'm teaching the class, and some guy comes up, and we're going back and forth on this conspiracy theories. And he's one of those guys that, you know, if you could come up with a money scam to go along with the conspiracy theory, he's one of those guys that's so awake, he's like, oh yeah, I don't even need to do the research, you're probably right, I believe you. You see the money scam, everything is a tax money scam. So if you could see how, oh, that's how they do it? If they haven't thought of it, what are the odds they haven't thought of it? You just thought of it right now. It's all already been thought of, how they're going to steal your tax money. So then he goes, you ever look into Flat Earth? I go, dude. This was less than a year ago. I go, dude, please shut the fuck up about that. Like anybody, anytime we bring up Flat Earth, you say, shut the fuck up. That's distracting from the real shit. We got some real fucking problems here. We got real problems going on. Kids are dying in fucking the Middle East. They're bombing kids, dude. They're fucking kids. They're fucking kidnapping and fucking and drinking their blood. And you're talking about fucking Flat Earth, motherfucking dumb motherfucker. You know? And then a couple months later, we're talking, and some guy goes, hey, you ever look into Flat Earth? I go, I'm gonna fucking choke you the fuck out of you. Because he goes, listen, I know your reaction. Everyone gets that same reaction at first. He goes, but I got a degree, I got a master's degree. I know, he goes, I got a master's degree on engineering. Look into that shit. You want to look into science? Do science. And I'm like, you dumb motherfucker. So we started texting. We're like, dude, please stop with that. Stick with the shit that fucking matters. So then I became a skeptic. I'm going to debunk this motherfucker. I go, and we're back and forth. And you know, you're battling, you're arguing on text. And I go to my computer. This was like 4 or 5 months ago, or maybe more, maybe 6 months ago, or something like that. And I'm like, I'm just gonna, it's really, really simple. There's no need for math. There's no need for engineering. I'm gonna prove that the world is round in 1 second. Picture from fucking Earth from space. I had it on my goddamn iPhone for like 2 years, on the iPhone 4. Every time I turn it on, there's a picture of the Earth. I've seen that shit a million times, okay? So let me get, and then, but I didn't have it. Now I have my son. I have my son. It's not the Earth anymore, not the default setting. So then I go, okay, I get on pictures of Earth from space. And do you believe we went to the moon? You believe we went to the moon?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so then you may not like any of this.
Yeah. No, I like it all.
No, because there's no way we went to the moon. If you actually look into it, it was a tax scam. Nobody went to the moon. Japanese didn't go to the moon. Chinese didn't go to the moon. Russians didn't go to the moon. In 1969, nobody went to the moon. Trust me. You can't, all the film, all the audio, all the telemetry data, the rockets, every part of the technology is gone.
How do you explain a sunrise and sunset?
Okay, no, I got it. Give me the backstory. Let me give you the backstory. So now, anyway, if you believe that we went to the moon, this is going to be a hard sell. Because, I mean, that's going to be a hard sell. But anyways, to me, I've always known, in my head, that NASA is just a complete fucking joke. It's propaganda. It's all bullshit. You faked going to the fuck. Alex Jones believed we faked when we went to the moon. That's your boy. Alex Jones will tell you we didn't go to the moon.
He says we went out.
But no. He says there was a secret space mission with no proof. So he's saying the shit we saw was fake. So he's saying it's fake. But now there's a secret mission? Come on. If the shit they showed us was fake, you can't believe anything they said. Oh, yeah, we lied about this, but we secretly did it. We didn't lie. We secretly didn't lie. Who, you going to believe a criminal? We got to remember, we're dealing with criminals. We're dealing with criminals. So the defendant is the government and all their agencies. That's the defendant. So are you going to ask questions? Or are you going to say things like the defense attorney would say, the shit he would say? Or are you going to say shit that the detectives and the prosecutor would say? You know, what's coming out of your mouth? Like, you know, so listen to what you're saying. Not you, but just anybody. Are you saying shit to defend criminals? Or like, prove it. Or are you saying what, like a detective would say, hey, wait a minute. You guys lied about the fucking moon landing 6-7 times? Prosecutor, detective they'd be in the interrogation when you have the government sitting there. They'd be like through that two-way mirror going, we got this motherfucker, we just need some hard shit. They would know. They go, we got this motherfucker, we just need some hard shit to prosecute. The defense attorney would say, we'll prove it. There's no evidence. Where's the evidence? Prove it. So anyways, so I go home, I can't find the fucking real picture of Earth from space. You would think there would be tens of thousands of them. I was going through everything. And then all of a sudden I thought, wait a minute, all these fake CGI pictures of Earth from space are from the NASA light about. And then all of a sudden I connected, wait a minute, all our space information is coming from NASA? And all of a sudden I thought, I was that dude who, I have stacks and stacks of space documentaries. I would just watch space after space after space documentary over and over. BBC, space, the universe, Morgan Freeman, the universe, space. I DVR'd all that shit, have all the DVDs. I would watch them over and over, just anything that would say, this neutron star is 250,000 light years away from this. I'm like, okay, I gotta remember that 250,000 light years. I'm like, I wanted to be the smart guy about space. And then every now and then when I'm watching these documentaries with Joe Rogan, every now and then I would think, it is kind of weird that all this is CGI and none of this is actually real. Oh, but they know what they're talking about. We're taking our word. Well, I'm going to take their word for it. I'm going to take the unknown scientist word for it about some unknown experiments that I know nothing about, how they figured all this shit out. I'm taking all these people's word for it. And where is it coming from? It's coming from fucking NASA. So all of a sudden, I'm sitting there. I can't. They got one picture, 1972. Of Earth from space, and you look at that looks fake too. Everything else is fake. There should be tens of thousands of pictures from space. Then I started looking into it, and I thought, oh shit, we don't know what the fuck we're on.
We have no idea.
We have no idea what we're on.
What do you think of the space station? The cameras on the space station?
All 100% fake. Text scam. Text scam. Text scam.
Sunrises and sunsets.
Okay. So this is the model, the flat Earth model.
Okay.
Imagine that we're in a crater. Just imagine this. Let's say that it's not flat. Let's just say that the Earth is round. All right. Let's say this. Understand it like this, and we are floating in space. All right. But let's say that the flat Earth model is exactly like the UN flag, the UN logo. It's the same fucking thing. Here is the flat Earth is like we're in a crater filled with water, and there's continents popping out that make up our world. And it's flat. Maybe it's on a big, round, gigantic planet. Let's just say that.
So if that's true, how can you circumnavigate the world?
Hold on. Let me get to it. I'm going to get to it. Right. So the flat Earth model, again, it's the UN flag, same thing. It's like there's like this crater filled with water that we're all in, and the continents are popping out, and all around it is an ice wall. The middle is the North Pole. The south, the magnetic center. The North Star is always right there in the middle. Every night, North Star, everything's revolving around the North Star. It's right over the North Pole. North Star
doesn't exist, though.
Huh?
Well, the North Star doesn't exist.
It's a light.
No, it's there. It's there. No. It's not a. Who knows what everything is? I don't know what it is. Nobody knows what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know if this is flat.
Why do you think
but
it's
this is the flat model. This is the flat model. Right. There's just a crater, and it's surrounded by ice. The middle is the North Pole. So wherever you're at in the world, you go south, you hit the ice wall. You hit the South Pole, okay? Let me finish. The sun, this is the flat Earth model. This is not what I believe. This is the flat Earth model. The sun and the moon go around like this. No, or this way, clockwise. Like the sun's here and the moon's here, and they crisscross and have they go around, and the sun is like an electromagnetic, it's not even a mass, it's just this ball of energy that's attracted. You know when you take out your compass, it always points towards north? There's something, whatever compass you have, something it's pointing towards north. And it's not an electronic compass. There's not a battery in there. For some reason, there's a magnet it points to something. There's a force in the middle, and that middle is the North Pole. So no matter when you circumnavigate, you're not going around a ball. You're just going this way and that way and that way. You think you're going in a ball because that's what you were taught to believe, that you were on a ball. But the sun and
if you don't steer your plane or your ship, and you don't touch that wheel, and you just keep going straight, you would eventually run into an ice wall.
Or you fly into space, right?
No, you fly straight. No, you fly straight.
You go right into space.
No one's flying. You fly straight. Like let's say here's Australia. Well, here's Australia, and here's like America. You would fly straight like that. You wouldn't go like this. You would just drive right to. You'd fly right to it.
When you fly on British Airways, and you're saying in America going to Britain, they go up around the North Pole like that, and they show a curved. You think they're just lying too?
I'm just telling you, there's no proof. There's no pictures from space of what we're on, is what I'm telling you. They're lying. There's some shit going on. There's no pictures. You got all these Hubble telescopes, and there's no pictures. It's all CGI.
Where do the rockets go in space when they blast them off?
Have you watched them never take off?
They go and they land right in the water. Boom, done.
AOA.
They're done. Satellites, they just launch satellites and they land.
So we don't have satellites?
Launches that have cameras until they get into space. So I know that.
Money scam, tax scam.
And then what?
They go into space. And
Tax scam. Each one's, they go, with telecommunications bill, we got the satellite, $45 billion. Congressman just goes, okay, they just launch it. There's no, if you think there's something from your phone going in space and then it's coming back down somewhere, they got you. It's all land-based communicate. Nothing's going into space and coming back.
Well, and somebody just put diamonds are worthless, which they are, but diamonds are worthless, but people assign a worth.
Exactly.
Well, it is.
Same thing with oil.
Diamonds are not worthless. They are the hardest element on planet Earth, so there is some value.
Yeah, but there's an artificial scarcity to diamonds. That's been
okay. Well, that's true. Well,
brought into the equation. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, the way the nighttime and daytime works on the flat Earth model is.
See that.
Let me explain this. Let me explain.
On the plate,
like if let's say I gotta explain the law of perception, your eyesight, your law of perception. If you were an artist and you were gonna draw long street, you were in the middle of the street, a long street, and at the side, like on the sidewalk,
I feel like I'm in Inception right now. Yes.
But think about the light poles, right? As you stood there, from your perception, each light pole, even though they're exactly the same height, they're going to appear to be a little bit lower, each one, right? And then it's going to come in, the ground is going to come up to your eye level. The light poles are going to come down and in to your eye level. And if you were, and also like if you were in a long hallway in some hotel and it went on for like a block, it would appear, because of the law of perception, that the walls were going to come in. They come in to your eye level, and the ceiling comes down, and the floor comes up. That's how you would draw it, because that's how it looks. Everything converges into your eye level, right? You understand that? That's not a conspiracy theory, right?
No.
So the sky is exactly like that too. So it looks like the sun is like setting, or we're spinning away from it, when it's really just so far away. The further something travels, the lower it gets. Like a mountain. If you look at a mountain, you can look around, it's like 50 miles away, and it's so low. It's not that high. If you walked up to it, it would be fucking 13,000 feet up. But the further away something gets, the lower it gets. Everything converges into your eyesight. You know what I'm saying? So the sun in the flat Earth model, this is the North Pole and you live right here, by the time the sun got over here, it looked like it's set, but it's just so far away. It's over here, and it's going to come around.
What would be blocking the view?
The sun always comes up.
What would be blocking the view, though?
The horizon.
It's just so far away.
What horizon? There is no horizon. There's no round Earth.
At some point, it's so far away you can't see it.
It's like looking at
It's
a
like
hotel.
No, I'd have to say no to that because the sun is too bright. That's what lights the moon. We wouldn't see the moon if it
The
wasn't.
moon is its own light. The moon is not. According to flat Earth people, the moon is its own sun. It's its own light. It's its own thing.
Blue light.
It's not reflecting the sun at all. It's its own light.
How does it always change with a round curve to it?
Only God knows.
I don't know.
So you're religious, but you're also.
I'm not. I'm just making the arguments of the flat Earth. I just know the flat Earth.
Yes, do this. There's a guy. Listen. There's a guy named Eric Dubé. Eric Dubé. He is the best guy explaining the flat Earth. There are flat Earth. There are flat. He's not.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Then you're either talking about the greatest psyop in the history of man.
That's the best dude.
That's what you're talking
Eric
about.
Dubé. Look at the history of flat Earth by Eric Dubé. Watch that with an open mind.
Let me ask you. So let's say the Earth is flat. So let's say the Earth is flat. Is then telling people that the Earth is round the greatest psyop in the history of mankind, or did somebody create the Earth flat and we just don't know it?
But then why would they do that? Like, why did they do it back in Columbus?
Nobody knows this.
They said the Magellan supposedly went around the Earth.
We know who knows what they know at the time. This is what happened. This is the history of the Earth. In the 1950s, Einstein he'd have debates with other physicists about, is the Earth really even moving? Is it spinning at 1,000 miles an hour? Like that? Where's the proof? There's zero proof that we're even moving. now that was the debate. So in 1950, an astrophysicist by the name of Auguste Piccard, and this is not a conspiracy theory, he got in a balloon, went up 50,000 feet. He went the highest anybody ever went up to that point. 50,000 feet. His name was Auguste Piccard. He went 50,000 feet in a balloon. He had a partner. They went up in a little mini submarine. And when he got up there in the 50s, his one-liner, his quote was, "The Earth appears to be a flat plane with upturned edges." He comes down. Who knows what that means? He comes down. Now no one could go into space. Space is owned by NASA. Nobody could go up there. The only government people could go up
there.
there.
That's a typical government reaction, but you also got to think about relativity. I mean, if humans are like a speck of dust in the size of a room compared to the size of the Earth, so even if you get that high, because we're so small compared to the size of the Earth, it would still appear flat.
No. That's a very good point. But if the Earth is 25,000 miles in circumference, then every I'm not a mathematician, but like
every mile
is like
8 feet squared, basically.
Something like that. And even Neil deGrasse Tyson doesn't argue that if you're a ball with 25,000 miles in circumference, that every mile you dip down a couple inches. So, but anyways, the main thing is, if we were on a ball, no matter how big it was, as you rise, the horizon would not rise to your eye level, no matter how big. If you're on a ball, as you rise, you're going to look down at the horizon. But get on a plane, look out the window, and I bet you the horizon is right at the law of your perception, right there. No matter how high you rise, it's right there. And that's only true on a flat plane. On a ball, it's impossible on a ball. On a ball, the more you rise, the more you look down on the horizon. No matter how big the ball could be, a zillion fucking miles in circumference. It doesn't matter how big. As you rise, you would look down at the horizon, not up. The higher you get on a plane, the horizon right there at your eye. It's your perception. Everything converges to your perception. It's crazy shit, dude.
So how about this? How crazy do you think these waitresses think we are right now?
Just you.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I've learned. This is my law. You want to know my law? My law is a lot of you believe in every conspiracy theory. There's all these conspiracies. You believe in it. There's not that many fucking conspiracy theories. There's a few.
That would have to be the biggest one ever.
Yeah, that is the biggest one ever, man. That is the biggest one ever. But there's people think there's all of these conspiracies. Oh, this doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. This is a lie. This doesn't even exist. My law, what I've learned is that if I need to take someone else's word for it, some unknown scientist, some unknown government scientist, from some unknown government experiments, if I gotta take and I can't prove it for myself, I gotta investigate it.